Hello and welcome back to my FPL channel. I'm Fpl Gw19 and I'm here today for my final plugs and team selection for Game Week 19. As you'll notice, the background again is very different. I'm up in Manchester for the game with Newcastle United on Monday night between Manchester United and Newcastle United. I'm also here for a warehouse project tonight and I've already had a few drinks, so we're up and about. Let's get into it. So final plugs, like where do we go from here? There's plenty of things that have to be taken into account. So lots of people are selling Saka still, selling Bruno, selling Pedro, and maybe Cunha, but probably not Cunha because I'm probably going to be bringing him in. Top of the New Year's shopping list is replacements for those players. Like that's just where we are at this particular moment in time. Midfield replacements for Saka or Bruno are still as number 1, Ahmad, 2, Sarr, 3, Rodgers, 4, Enzo. If you're wanting more expensive options, they have changed from the last game week. I still think Foden, with Leicester and West Ham up next, looks absolutely amazing on paper, and that's definitely where I would go. Gordon is now into second. He is a brilliant... What is there not to say? Like Newcastle are just in such a good run of form. I think that they might actually be aiming for top 4 again, even though they haven't made any signings. Like January, if they get it right, I reckon they could really kick on and end up in the top 4 conversation at the end of the season. Odegaard is still number 3. He hasn't done anything. I just think that of all the Arsenal attackers to replace Saka, he was definitely the best one. He was unlucky, I felt, in the game week just been. And number 4 is Eze. Like Crystal Palace's run is really good from here on in. I actually think he's the better pick over Sarr if I was going to go for a Crystal Palace player. At the moment, I'm going to hold Bruno this game week. There's a little bit of information for you right there. So if you have Salah and Palmer, that's where you need to go. If you don't have them, they should be number 1 and 2. That's where we are. In terms of Cunha replacements or João Pedro replacements, it definitely has to be Isaac. He is an essential forward at this particular moment in time. Jackson is definitely still number 2. I know Maresca talked about rotation and all this and that, but in reality, he is still definitely the next best option. Solanke now, for me, because he plays 90 minutes every week, he comes in at number 3, and number 4 is Havertz. Now, if you don't have Cunha, I'm actually bringing Cunha into my team. I'm going to lie. I actually think that's what I'm going to do. He hasn't been banned. He's not going to be banned before this fixture. And I just really like him. He's going to rise in price again. And then I just deal with him when he gets banned, which inevitably will happen. And then I just sell him. But until then, he looks really good. Tottenham don't have any central defenders. I'm expecting Wolves to score, which means that Cunha will be involved. Now, is it worth bringing back semi-premium midfielders such as Diaz and Blerma and Jota? The answer is I'm not sure. I've heard rumors today that apparently Diaz's dad was in hospital. I've got no factual basis other than the fact that someone sent me a message saying this, so I don't know if it's true or not, but potentially maybe that's why he stayed on the bench last game. I'm not sure. Jota obviously still isn't 100% fit, and in regards to Mbeumo, their run is really hard coming up, so I'm not sure. And I still think the cheaper defenders are the way forward. Trent Alexander-Arnold has definitely disappointed. There's rumors today he's already agreed to sign for Real Madrid in the summer. Like, I just think that that's a place we don't want to be going. There's better options at a lower price point. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So preparing for New Year's fixtures and doing some forward planning around that double game week. Obviously, I bought in Alisson last week, so I have 2 Liverpool players. I did consider Gakpo. I'm just not sold on him. And like, look, João Pedro is going to drop in price tonight, and I bought him at 5.4, which means it does affect my selling price, which is why I will be selling him for a forward this game week. I'm just not sure if I'm going to do a second transfer and take a -4, but at this moment, it is Cunha that's going to be coming in for him because that is the best forward that I think is available at that particular price point. Obviously, this is still a great time to make up rank. And obviously, Ahmad, Enzo, Sarr, Rodgers, Murphy, which one do you buy? Is it possible to rock 2? Well, the answer is I actually think that it is possible to rock 2. It's just a matter of which one that you really prefer, and you sort of go from there. So, like, without further ado, let's get into FPL Game Week 19 team selection. So, first off, I'm going to share with you Fantasy Football Hub. So the players that are likely to rise tonight before the game week deadline tomorrow are Rodgers, Palmer, Pickford, Salah, Henderson, Son, Isaac, Shah, Gakpo. Lots of these players are really hot. As you can see there, we go further down. Salah looks like he's going to rise again. Gabriel, Cunha, Gordon. I really want to bring in Gordon, but it means selling Bruno. And for me, I don't feel comfortable with that particular decision. Obviously, players about to drop. Kelleher, Garnacho, Mazraoui, Neto. João Pedro is the big one there at 5.8. That does affect my selling price, which is why I think I'm going to be forced into a transfer in this particular game week. So let's have a look at what I'm going to do. So this is my team currently. I have 1.6 million in the bank, and I've got 1 free transfer, which means that João Pedro is definitely leaving the team. I can't afford for that price drop. I really want to capitalize on it. Cunha looks like he's going to rise. So for me, he hasn't been banned. He does look good. I can afford him without having to make any other transfer. I am going to lock that in live in this video right now. Look at that. Make transfer, confirm transfer, done. Cunha is back in my team. I don't know how long he's going to be, but he's definitely going to get banned, which means I'm going to have to waste a transfer on that. But I want to hold Bruno Fernandes, and in doing so, at least I cover myself, particularly if Jackson gets benched, which is potentially likely. I'm not sure if it will be, but that is what I'm going with. So this is my team selection. As you can see here, it's taken me directly there. I am going to be starting Alisson Becker in goal. Fabianski, unfortunately, obviously got injured. He got concussed. There's no way he's playing in this game against Liverpool. So if you're relying on Fabianski, you need to make a transfer there. That's the end game there. But Alisson Becker will be starting in goal. Julian Timber continues his impressive form. 9 points. He has been super good for me since I bought him into the team. So I bought him in when he got that 14, 2, 6, 1, 9. 3 returns in the last 5 weeks. That's absolutely amazing. Robinson obviously has the Bournemouth game at home, and he starts over Kirkes. I just feel like Fulham are more likely to keep a clean sheet here than Bournemouth, but I'm not sold on either of them. And I just think that potentially he's got more chance of an attacking return. Kirkes hasn't really got up into the areas I want to see him in the last couple of weeks. So for me, Anthony Robinson starts there. Then obviously got Colwill. Now, Colwill's a bit of a boring pick, but they do have Ipswich away, and Ipswich didn't even look like offering a shot against Arsenal yesterday. So for me, he has to be the pick there. Ipswich, it's hard to see them scoring, if I'm being brutally honest. Then I'm starting Palmer, Ahmad, Foden and Salah. I'm really excited about Foden. They have the Leicester away fixture, and they have been conceding so many shots. Surely this is the week where Foden delivers and backs me in the faith that I've been showing him since I bought him in last week. He was the unlucky last week, 0.85 XG. If he continues that this week against Leicester, he's going to be returning, and I'm going to be a pretty happy man. For me, it's definitely Cunha, Isaac and Jackson starting up front in a 3-4-3 formation. It's the first time I've played 3-4-3 in a number of weeks. I have been rocking the 5 midfield with Pedro sitting on the bench, but bringing Cunha in against that Tottenham defence, I'm super excited about what that will mean for my team. And then it comes down to whether I want to get rid of Bruno this week. So that leaves me with Fabianski on the bench. Obviously, he's not going to be playing. Bruno Fernandes, first man on the bench. It doesn't really matter. He's not going to be coming on because he's suspended. There are a number of players suspended as well. So Clivert, popular option, suspended. There are a number of them. You need to make sure that you're aware of them. If you've got a red flag in team, make sure you've got cover. Kirkes and Hall start on the bench. Maybe I should be starting Hall in front of Kirkes because I'm not sure if Man United are going to score goals, but I'm going to the game, so I've got to back in Ahmad to do something. So that's why Hall starts on the bench. For that pure reason, I expect Newcastle to score goals against Manchester United, especially off set pieces, which just scares me, to be honest with you. But that's just where I'm going. And at this moment, I think that's the only transfer I'm going to make. Bruno Fernandes will become a problem when he becomes available again, but I'm willing to hold. And the main reason why I'm willing to hold, yes, he's likely to go down in price, probably back to his 8.3 million between now and when he plays again. He's got Liverpool away next. Liverpool haven't been the best defensively of late, but then he's got Southampton, Brighton, Fulham, and Crystal Palace. He'll want to make amends. This man's never been sent off for Manchester United. I've been sent off 3 times this season. If that's not enough inspiration to make you perform when you return, then I don't know what is. So for me, that is where I'm going. That's my team selection for Game Week 19. I'm obviously top 23,000. It was a slight down arrow in Game Week 18. But look, I'm hoping that eventually it'll even itself out. This week, I'm not expecting much because of the fact that I am playing Ahmad. I'm playing Cunha. My defense, I think, is okay. I don't know if I've got it right. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. And good luck in Game Week 19. Hopefully, I'll be here with a deadline stream tomorrow. But I can't promise that. I am going out tonight. And it's just a matter of how I feel in the morning. So with that being said, good luck. I'll see you on the other side. That's been the D Unit.